Hello and welcome back to Mass Effect. Let's go back to Citadel Presidium, and we only have one keeper left to scan here, and we are pretty much all done in the Citadel. Also, we have skill points to invest in, and we already have 4 points because we leveled up twice. It's pretty nice. Also, I unlocked 1 charm, so that obviously goes there. The other options are a lot more difficult to make, because Vanguard is pretty amazing, especially since it increases biotic protection, and as you saw, biotics are really difficult to deal with. Spectre Training is an all-around nice stat to have. It's not super great for the individual things, but it's nice to have when they're all combined. I can get Advanced Marksman quite easily. I would really like to equip Medium Armor, although I think I like this armor configuration that I have right now, so I might as well wait until I get some better light armor and then go for this. And I can get Advanced Throw. Yeah, I guess let's get Advanced Throw for now. Increase the size and strength of the Mass Effect field. Allows you to throw more often. And for the rest, go with Vanguard. Yeah, now I have 12% biotic protection and 7% pistol and shotgun damage. Very nice. Works for both. Alright, and also all the other squad members. So Liara, she has 3 points. So now, after every level gained, after level 20, we only get 1 point for all our party members, which is a bit unfortunate. But she has all in the Star Scientist already, so I can get more throw, I can get more barrier. I guess we'll go with throw first, and then for barrier. Garrus. Well, I do want to unlock electronics, so that's what I'm going to do. Advanced First Aid, increase the amount of health restored by First Aid. Alright. So, well, since we're here, let's go and talk to the jellyfish. Hanar Emporium Keeper. Right here. Because he might have something for sale.
Commander, it is good to see you again. Would you care to see some of its fantastic items today?
Show me your items.
Oh, this one is pleased to do so, human. You will not be disappointed.
Standard items. Yes, we have Devlon Industries license. 6,000. Yeah, we can afford that. And I don't care for much of anything else right now, since I really need to get the best shotgun and the best pistol at the moment. So let's just head for the Citadel Tower right off the bat. It's interesting because the Citadel Tower is quite higher than this. It's probably... Alright. It's probably just a part of the tower that we can access. And the tower itself just goes further. And also it doesn't show because there's the backdrop in the way. Oh yes, everything is quite bright now that there's no AO.
A Solarian excavation team has run into an unexpected problem after unearthing a Prothean dig site. Hanar protesters have blockaded the dig site, claiming that artifacts of the Enkindlers, as the Hanar call them, should not be disturbed. The excavation team has appealed to Hanar representatives on the Citadel to reach a diplomatic solution.
Yeah. Without ambient occlusion, everything is quite brighter. So that's pretty nice. Alright, so where can we find the last keeper? Let's see. It starts playing the best elevator music just when we are ready to leave the elevator. That's unfair. Okay. Also, Liara, you haven't been here, I don't think.
See how the trees and the fountain naturally blend with the arches of the tower? They have done a masterful job of capturing the aesthetic values of the Protheans.
So, yeah, I suppose that there would not have been the trees and so on initially. And there's a keeper, but I already scanned them. There's no more Admiral. But there's Emily Wong.
Commander Shepard, could I have another word with you?
Sure.
Hello again, Commander. I've got a proposition for you. Since you helped me get information on the crime syndicate, I've gotten a lot more backing from my publishers. I'm investigating traffic controller conditions now, and I wondered if you could help.
That seems like a step down from wide-scale corruption.
Actually, in a way, it's more important. This isn't about people getting rich. This is about safety. I've heard rumors that the space traffic controllers are overworked to a dangerous degree. I can't get into the control room, but you could. If you planted a bug inside, I could crack the story.
A bug, you say?
Everyone knows space traffic controllers are overworked. How is this news?
There's a difference between overworked and dangerous. Traffic at the Citadel has increased by 300% in the last century, but traffic controller resources haven't kept up. We already have several last-minute wave-offs per week. Do we have to wait for a full-blown disaster?
Okay, fair enough.
If you crack this story, what's likely to happen?
Ideally, there will be calls to improve working conditions by hiring more controllers and upgrading systems. The Council won't pay for improvements voluntarily. This story will provide that pressure.
Fair enough.
This bug you want me to plant, could it interfere with traffic signals?
Absolutely not. I made certain that the frequencies it uses won't interfere with anything.
Yeah, I suppose it should have a way to transfer the data somewhere else.
What will this bug allow you to pick up?
Just audio and video. I'm not trying to tap into the traffic control system if that's what you're worried about. I just need to hear and see them in order to correlate their activity with traffic efficiency.
Well, that's a quest, so we're not ones to not take quests.
I can't promise anything, but I'll see what I can do. Give me the bug.
Excellent. Just place it on a terminal with a good view of the area. Thanks again for your help. In the long run, this story is going to save lives.
Okay.
Hello again. Is there a problem? I'm not detecting any signals from the bug yet.
Oh. I can refuse to take the bug after all.
I'll let you know when it's done. Goodbye.
Yeah, I just thought that she would say an extra line, but apparently not. So where else can we find the keeper? Doesn't look like there's one here. Oh yeah, we're there. These guys are not talking anymore, so that's fine. Maybe it's up there? A few people
Strange.
here.
Think of all the important decisions the Council has made right here. Trillions of lives hanging on their every word and deed. It's awe-inspiring.
Indeed.
All my time at CC, I never had a chance to witness a meeting of the Council in person.
Yeah. It is rare, after all, to get a meeting with the council, and I see a keeper. I don't think I scanned this one. Yes, excellent. Data collection complete. And we get a lot of experience and a lot of money for completing the whole quest. Nice. In fact, we're probably not that far away from another level. Yeah, only 1000 experience left. Okay, great. So, well, we are going back through CSEC Academy anyway, so I might as well take the time and plan that bug. And then we'll be able to tell Emily Wong that we've planted the bug at some point in the future. Well, we would have to go back to the tower once we are done. But I suppose eventually we'll do it. There's not a whole lot of stuff left to do in the Presidium right now. Eventually I want to take Ashley here.
Reporter Kalisa Al-Jilani recently attempted to land an interview with Commander Shepard, the first human Spectre. Commander Shepard answered difficult questions, demonstrating that under that military uniform is a keen diplomatic mind. We'll have exclusive footage later today.
Yeah, so I don't want the trip with Ashley to have too many things in it, since I do want to get the achievement for both Garrus and Liara. But if it's just 2 things, then that's probably fine. And it will be faster.
Let all races herald the glory of the Enkindlers who raised them all to enlightenment.
Well, actually, that's right. If we go through here, we can also talk to Zabalita. And then we can go back. That makes sense. In fact, now we don't have any more places
Binary
with...
Helix has settled out of court with a Krogan group that had accused the Genetics Corporation of fraud. The Krogan group had contracted Binary Helix to perform studies with a long-range goal of curing their genetic sterilization. The group later sued for a return of investment money when the study produced no viable results.
Yeah, so we don't have any more clusters that we can go to that would have more than one quest. We do have a lot of quests in a lot of different clusters, though. So I'm thinking that I will try and go to the cluster, which is just closest to the Citadel, because it's probably going to be least dangerous. Hi, Zabalita.
Hey, back again, huh? I don't suppose you got any credits to spare.
I spoke to my mother. She told me about what happened on Mindoir.
Did she? I wonder. People tied like prize hogs, locked in cages, clawing and screaming as they're loaded into cargo pods. And we couldn't reach them. The Batarian defenses had us pinned. Dozens died trying to advance. All we could do was watch as they hauled people away. I've been looking for 13 years for something to make that sight go away. What have you got, huh?
Well, we have a squad that was eaten by Thresher Moths. I guess that counts for something.
I'm not going to give you money to drink yourself to death. You need to stop this.
If you don't have a better option, just give me 20 credits. A good bottle of whiskey. Enough to stop the dreams.
Go to the office.
My mother said to go to the Veterans Affairs office. You're not the only one who's seen that brand of hell. They can help.
The VAO? God. All right. If she wants me to go talk to someone, fine, I'll do it. For her. she always stuck up for me. She always was naive. All the VAO does is pump you full of chemicals. If she wants to talk, tell her she can reach me through the Citadel VAO.
Well, you know, it's better if they pump you with chemicals instead of you pumping yourself with chemicals. So, yeah. That's fine, let's go down some more.
In remembrance of Eden Prime, we present another profile in courage with serviceman Olli Bhatia. A devoted wife and talented chef, serviceman Bhatia joined the Alliance military under the Deferred Education Plan. After finishing her service, Bhatia planned to open a restaurant. Instead, she gave her life protecting the colonists of Eden Prime. For more profiles in courage, or to explore opportunities in the military, please visit the Alliance military on the extranet. Keyword, courage.
Yeah. Things are starting to repeat quite a bit. But we are going back. So yes, hopefully whichever system is closest to the Citadel, as in Euclidean distance and not the number of hops needed, should be least dangerous, I guess. Although the Rogue VI quest, I recall being a bit difficult, so I'm not sure how I feel about that one. Also, nice glowing
In
in the dark.
entertainment news, Francis
Scouter.
Kitt has announced plans to direct Hamlet with El Corps cast members. The production will open dramatic theater to the El Corps with a Hamlet who uses El Corps body language and pheromones. Kitt claims that he's also excited by giving a human audience the chance to judge Hamlet by his deeds and not his emotions.
We don't have any like headwear like this for Shepard himself, though we will have that in the second game, and we will be able to equip a scouter like this, so that's cool. Alright, so plant the bug, fine. It doesn't sound any dangerous, and we don't care about laws. So, if this is going to save lives, that's a good cause for John. So let's do that. Traffic control. Inconspicuous location. That sounds like a good place. Bug planted. Alright. And now back to the ship. There's nobody speaking, right? Right. And there's no Chelak. Right. I have to go down to the markets. Eventually. But not now.
Celebrations are being planned for the anniversary of the end of the Rachni Wars. Many Council worlds, particularly Asari and Solarian colonies, will hold victory parades to commemorate the defeat of the invading Rachni. In a rare admission of debt, several Asari colonies have invited Krogans to be honored for the victories the uplifted Krogans made possible.
Yeah, and as you probably noticed, not all text matches the subtitles. I assume that the subtitles are more accurate, although in some cases it's a bit strange because it doesn't seem like it would matter. But generally, of course, if they change the text after recording the audio, they don't want to re-record it again because that's a lot more difficult than just changing the text.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
Nice steam.
Decontamination in progress. logged. The commanding officer is aboard. XO Presley stands relieved.
Well, let's see where we can go. Ah yes, we have the local cluster. But we also have Horsehead Nebula. Well yeah, there's no area there. We have Exodus Cluster. Actually, I don't think we have anything to do in Exodus Cluster. We do have something in Horsehead, and we do have something in Local. And yeah, the Gemini Sigma is further away. Yeah, let's go to Horsehead Nebula for now. Well, there's Pox with no area. Probably nothing else there. So let's go to Strenuous. It's pretty nice how all the different parts fold when it's moving out. Yunthorl. Shrouded by a thick atmosphere of complex hydrocarbons, Yunthorl has never been fully mapped. The surface is hot and completely covered by a global ocean of liquid hydrocarbons. There are indications of primitive organic life developing deep within the global ocean. Okay. Quite high pressure, but that's fine for organisms. Okay, gravity too. Medallion recovered. Your scanner uncovered an ancient deep space probe slowly orbiting Yunthorl. Tali brought it on board, dismantled it, and found a League of One medallion hidden in its payload. Those medallions sure are in the strangest of places. Antitara. Antitara is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of ammonia. Hydrocarbons in the atmosphere lend it a distinct brown tint. Okay. Gas deposit surveyed. Scans from orbit have detected a large concentration of helium-3. Well, again, of course, it's a helium gas giant. What else would you expect? Trillin. Trillin is a lifeless rock with a trace atmosphere of xenon and krypton. Its surface contains large amounts of iron and magnesium silicates. Due to a heavily cratered terrain, starships are discouraged from landing. A Solarian religious cult claims that a certain pattern of overlapping craters in the southern hemisphere resembles their goddess. Yeah. No atmosphere? Well, trace atmosphere, I suppose. Very low gravity, wow. And yes, it does look pretty nice. And of course, this is probably a reference to how some people see something on the moon, even though it's just a bunch of craters. Zawin. Warning, level 1 cold hazard. Zawin has a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane. The surface is frozen and mainly composed of cobalt, with deposits of copper. Planet-side conditions are hazardous, with constant ice storms racking the surface. Okay. So... yeah, quite cold indeed. Okay, gravity. And we have no reason to land, so we cannot land. And the last part is... Thessalgon? Or Thessalgon. A standard hydrogen-helium gas giant. Thessalgon's atmosphere is tinted blue by trace quantities of methane. Yeah, once again, quite like Neptune. So we cannot land anywhere, huh? So This is Strenuous in Horsehead Nebula. Let's check our journal. And Strenuous. I think we have something. Kepler Verge. Voyager Cluster. Gemini Sigma. Strenuous. Horsehead Nebula. Look for signs of Gareth's brother and his ship. Okay, well, I can't find anything. That's a bit odd. I don't suppose I missed something here. Oh, look at that. I did. MSV Majesty. The Majesty is a Kowloon-class modular conveyor of human design. The ship is a derelict. All compartments are exposed to space, and the fusion plant is leaking. The damage is consistent with ship-mounted mass accelerator fire. Registry. Private owner, Captain Willem. Sounds Dutch. A faint trail of radioactive particles, possibly exhaust from a sublight nuclear engine drive, leads toward the nearby planet of Zawin. So, this probably means that we should land there. Yes, of course. But, well, it's something that we should probably do in the next video instead. Is there any better explanation for what that trail is? Privateers. You discovered the remains of a ship called the Majesty. It looks like it was attacked by privateers. Info from the ship's flight log indicates the privateer base is nearby. Oh, okay, so they attacked the Majesty and then went to their base. Fair enough. Alright, so let's read some codex entries. We're done with ships and vehicles. So let's read the secondary codex entries for ships and vehicles. FTL Drive. Appearance. New space travelers ask, what does it look like outside a ship moving at faster than light speed? Part of the answer can be seen in a simple pane of glass. Light travels slower through glass than it does through open air. Light also moves slower in conventional space than it does in a high-speed mass effect field. This causes refraction. Any light entering at an angle is bent and separated into a spectrum. Objects outside the ship will appear refracted. The greater the difference between the objective, exterior, and subjective, interior speeds of light, the greater the refraction. As the subjective speed of light is raised within the field, objects outside will appear to redshift, eventually becoming visible only to radio telescope antennae. High-energy electromagnetic sources, normally hidden to eye, become visible in the high blue spectrum. As the speed of light continues to be raised, X-ray, gamma-ray, and eventually cosmic ray sources become visible. Stars will be replaced by pulsars, the accretion disks of black holes, quasars, and gamma-ray bursts. To an outside observer, a ship within a Mass Effect drive envelope appears blue-shifted. If within a field that allows travel at twice the speed of light, any radiation it emits has twice the energy as normal. If the ship is in a field of about 200 times light speed, it radiates visible light as X-rays and gamma-rays, and the infrared heat from the hull is blue-shifted up into the visible spectrum or higher. Ships moving at FTL are visible at great distances, though their signature will only propagate at the speed of light. Yes, this is pretty sound physics for whenever someone manages to make ships move faster than light, which is almost impossible because light is supposed to be the fastest thing that you can achieve normally without doing things like folding space, in which case it's not really moving. Alright, Then FTL drive charge. As positive or negative electric current is passed through an FTL drive core, it acquires a static electrical charge. Drives can be operated an average of 50 hours before they reach charge saturation. This change is proportional to the magnitude of mass reduction. A heavier or faster ship reaches saturation more quickly. If the charge is allowed to build, the core will discharge into the hull of a ship. All ungrounded crew members are fried to a crisp. All electronic systems are burned out, and metal bulkheads may be melted and fused together. The safest way to discharge a core is to land on a planet and establish a connection to the ground, like a lightning rod. Larger vessels like dreadnoughts cannot land and must discharge into a planetary magnetic field. The ship passes the charge from the drive core to the exterior armored hull, then dives into the magnetic field. As the hull discharges, sheets of lightning jump away into the field, creating beautiful auroral displays on the planet. The ship must retract its sensors and weapons while dumping charge to prevent damage, leaving it blind and helpless. Discharging at a moon with a weak magnetic field can take days. Discharging into the powerful field of a gas giant may require less than an hour. Deep space facilities, such as the Citadel, often have special discharge facilities for visiting ships. Yeah, so this both relates to how larger ships cannot land on planets because they're too large, and what all the discharge things that we saw in different planets are all about. So you do need to have some gas giants, ideally, so that you could discharge and continue operating an FTL drive. Though, you don't often need FTL drive all that much. Well, depends on the place you're going, I suppose. But if it's near the mass relay, then you don't really need that. And yeah, let's read one more. Space combat, combat endurance. Heat limits the length and intensity of ship-to-ship combat. Starships generate enormous heat when they fire high-energy weapons, perform maneuvering burns, and run onboard combat electronics. In combat, warships produce heat more quickly than they can disperse it. As heat builds within a vessel, the crewed spaces become increasingly uncomfortable. Before the heat reaches lethal levels, a ship must win or retreat by entering FTL. After an FTL run, the ship halts, shuts down non-essential systems, and activates the heat radiation gear. Combat endurance varies by ship design, and by the battle's location. Battles in the deep cold of interstellar space can go on for some time. Engagements close to a star are brief. Since habitable worlds are usually close to a star, battles over them are frantic. I wonder why it is possible to fight in interstellar space. Is it just because of the heat from the star? Because if you're not that close to the star, it shouldn't be that much. Well, yeah, I suppose if you're looking at the star, it's only cool at night because it's not looking directly into the star, and it's hot during the day because it is. So I suppose that does make sense. Alright, well, that will be all for now, and I will see you all next time once we land on Zawin and see what is up with that. So, see y'all then. Later.